Welcome. Today's presentation looks at the integration of rational emotive behavior therapy with sympathy, empathy, and compassion, concepts that are central to clinical work, yet often blurred together in practice. The session is led by Dr. Steve Johnson, a clinician, educator, and researcher whose work focuses on helping therapists apply cognitive and emotional principles with greater clarity and effectiveness. In this talk, Dr. Johnson offers a practical framework for understanding these distinctions and using them intentionally in therapy. Let's begin.
In therapy and in life, we're often told to be more empathetic, but Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, or REBT, asks a sharper question. What kind of caring actually helps, and what kind accidentally keeps people stuck? To answer that, REBT helps us clearly distinguish sympathy, empathy, and compassion, not just as emotions, but as belief-driven responses. REBT starts with a simple idea. It's not events that disturb us, but our beliefs about those events. That includes how we respond to other people's suffering. So let's look at sympathy, empathy, and compassion through the lens of beliefs, emotions, and behaviors. Sympathy involves recognizing that someone is suffering and feeling bad for them, but from a distance. From an REBT perspective, sympathy often rests on beliefs like, "This is awful and shouldn't be happening." Their pain is unbearable. "I feel bad, but I can't really engage with this." The emotional tone might be something like sadness, pity. Concern mixed with emotional distance. Some typical behaviors associated with sympathy include polite concern, such as, "I'm sorry this happened," or emotional withdrawal or avoidance. Sympathy can unintentionally reinforce the idea that suffering is intolerable, which can increase helplessness, both in the helper and in the person who's struggling. Empathy goes a step further. It involves emotionally understanding another person's experience and resonating with it. REBT-consistent beliefs here include, given their situation, it makes sense they feel this way. Human suffering is part of life. I can tolerate being emotionally present with pain. The emotional tone might include healthy sadness, emotional attunement, understanding without judgment, and the typical behaviors associated with empathy include reflective listening, validation. Staying present without rushing to fix empathy alone can turn into emotional over-identification if we start believing, "I must take away their pain. If they suffer, I've failed." That's how burnout happens. Compassion includes empathy, but adds purposeful action grounded in rational beliefs. From an REBT perspective, compassion rests on beliefs like, "This is painful, not awful. I can care deeply without demanding that pain disappear. People are fallible and still worthy of respect. I can help without over-responsibility." The emotional tone of compassion might be evidenced by concern with strength, warmth without overwhelm, care without panic. And the typical behaviors associated with compassion might include supporting without rescuing, teaching coping skills, encouraging agency and responsibility, balancing acceptance with change. In therapy, compassion sounds like, "I genuinely care, and I also believe you can learn to handle this." That's REBT in action. Here's the distinction REBT makes clear. Sympathy notices suffering, but often distances. Empathy connects emotionally. Compassion connects and empowers. REBT favors compassion because it promotes high frustration, tolerance, unconditional, other acceptance, non-demanding beliefs, growth, and resilience. REBT doesn't ask us to care less. It teaches us to care more wisely. Compassion, grounded in rational beliefs, allows us to stay connected without burning out, help without rescuing, accept without surrendering responsibility. And that's what makes compassion, not just empathy, the most therapeutic form of caring. Thanks for watching.